Everyone dreams of living an uncommon life, and the best asset you have to achieve your dreams is you. Welcome to the Uncommon Wealth Podcast. We're going to introduce you to people who are living uncommonly. We're also going to give you some tools and strategies for building wealth and for pursuing an uncommon path that is uniquely right for you.
Welcome back to another episode of the Uncommon Wealth Podcast, where I'm your host, Phillip Ramsey. And today I wanted to share something with you that I don't think I talk about enough. I want to talk about what it actually feels like to do what I do. Not the technical side, not the financial plans or the investment strategies. I want to talk about the view that I have. Because after years of sitting across the table with people, learning about their lives, understanding about their fears, I've watched what they've done with their money, and I've realized something. I have one of the most unique and uncommon front row seats of any professional out there. And I'm super grateful for it. All right, so let's talk about what I'm talking about. Here's something that I believe with everything in me. Money doesn't lie. You can tell me what you value all day long. People talk about their family, what they value. They talk about their faith, talk about their health, their freedom, their legacy, all of it. But when I look at what somebody actually does with their money, where it goes, what they protect, what they sacrifice for, I see the truth. Not in a judgment way, not to call anybody out, but in an amazing way. Like, money is one of those most honest reflection of a person and who they are. And I get to see that every day. So let me tell you about the reason why I wanted to do this podcast. Let me tell you about the one specific client. He has a dog. He adopted this dog, and this dog has a serious medical need. I'm not talking about one treatment. I'm talking about an ongoing treatment with significant monthly cost. The kind of expenses most people would look at and say, I can't do this. But every single month, this client makes sure those bills are paid. He adjusts other things. He makes it work because he wanted to be a man of his word. And when he adopted this dog, he told him, I'm going to do everything I can to make it sure it's an amazing life for that dog. Now, some people might scratch their head and be like, why would you ever pay that much for the dog and the care? Because this guy made an honest reflection and wanted to be true to his word and give that dog an amazing life. And I think a lot of advisors would say, hey, why are you doing that? Like, don't spend that much money. But it's in value of not only his word, but his value. And I encourage that. That's amazing. All right. But it's not just every quiet moment. Some of my favorite moments when I get to work with people are the celebrations. They're not just thinking like, hey, this is happening or this isn't happening, but I get to see that and I get to celebrate with them. Let's say they're debt-free or they have years of sacrifices to get to this point and I get to celebrate with them. It's not like they talk about this at the dinner table with some friends. I get to see that. It happens a lot. It's real. You can see it on their face. The weight is lifted, and I get to celebrate that with them. It's pretty sweet. I've seen grown adults cry. I've seen couples hold hands. I've seen couples get angry at each other, more like counseling, and I get to be in the front row seat of that. How awesome is that? And then there's business owners, the ones that poured out everything to do something they love, and they built something amazing, and then they get to the end of the day and they get to sell it. They get to sell something that they created, and now somebody sees value in it. I've sat at those tables, and I've seen people work through what the value is and how it impacts their financial plan. It's powerful. Talking about taxes, talking about things they don't even understand at that point, but they do want to make sure that they're maximized. It's amazing. All right, so let's just talk about for a second why I love what I get to do, because not everybody gets to see that. But I also need to be honest with you. This job isn't just about celebrations and different things and different ways people are spending their money, but I also get to see when people are scared, when people are going through tremendous turmoil and trials. And I get to sit down with those people, ones that they maybe lost somebody, maybe they lost a parent, a spouse. It's tough. But I get to see that, and I get to walk people and counsel people through that. That's what Uncommon Wealth is about. I've also get to see people and what happens when they get inheritance. There's a lot of financial strings, a lot of emotions, a lot of psychological things that are happening, and be able to counsel people through that. It's awesome. And also sometimes hard and heavy, but that's what it is. So if you're sitting there holding something precious, something that your loved ones that you've worked for your whole life, or maybe a loved one has gifted you, I'm happy to say that I would be happy to sit down with you and work through that stuff. Please go to www.uncommonwealth.com and schedule time with me. But you don't have to, right? Like, you can ask somebody else to. But that's what I feel like at Uncommon Wealth I love most about my job, is because I get to walk people through heavy things, exciting things, celebrations. I get to encourage people to continue to use their money in an uncommon way, even if it's for their dog that they said they promised to take care of when they first adopted them, knowing it was going to be financial strain. How lucky am I? Pretty lucky. So, if you want to go down this uncommon path, again, please let me know. I know that I have a very different perspective, and a lot of professionals don't get to see that. And I know doctors get to see people in vulnerable ways physically. Pastors get to see people at their most vulnerable spiritual times. Financial advisors, the good ones, we see people on all their levels in different ways, fears, dreams, regrets, all of the things, they're all out on the table. I get to see what people actually are made of when times are tough, or when they've given their word to something and they continue to do it. The real version, as I like to call it. The guy who sacrifices for a dog, couple who finally got completely debt-free, the business owner who built everything from nothing and now gets to sell it, the widows who's holding back their husband's life and financial perspective in her hands. These are real people. They're real lives, and I get to be a part of it. I get to have that perspective that not a lot of people do. So, like I said, if you're listening to this right now, maybe you're a client, maybe you're not a client. Maybe you're someone who's thinking about getting into a financial life together or putting a financial plan together. Or maybe you've stumbled upon somebody, or you stumbled on this podcast and you think about somebody that might need this. Please send this to them. It would be awesome to be able to talk to them and just kind of work through if we're a good fit or not. Your money is telling a story, and that story is about you. What you love, what you fear, what you're building towards. My hope is that the story of your money tells something that matches your values and what you're excited to be. And if it's not, that's what Uncommon Wealth is all about. Thank you for spending time with me today. If this episode meant something to you, please share it with somebody. You can subscribe in all the ways you can get your podcast, Apple, Spotify, a lot. And if you want to schedule time with me, like I said, uncommonwealth.com, hit that consultation. It's free. Till next time, go live an uncommon life. Thanks for listening.
That's all for this episode, brought to you by Uncommon Wealth Partners. Be sure to visit uncommonwealth.com to learn more about our services. Don't miss an episode as we introduce you to inspiring people who are actively pursuing an uncommon life.